One sec. Sam, is that better now?
Yeah.
Perfect. This is now the reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show, proudly sponsored by Bravose Boxing. Delighted as always to be joined by Sam Eggington. Sam, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah. I'm getting through it, so I'm okay.
Brilliant. Last time I spoke to you, you were fighting for a WBC middleweight silver title, and now you're fighting for an IBO super welterweight title. Tell me how much your life has changed since. Let's go back to the Cheeseman fight. Since then, you know, you redid your career again. Went on Channel 5, Hennessy Sport, and now you're back on Sky Sports. Just tell us how you're feeling regarding this.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, the Cheeseman fight, you know, I felt like I got a harsh decision. Honestly, I felt like, you know, I wouldn't have fought. I thought I'd done enough, and I was ready to, you know, to pack it in, and just say, look, this is it now. You know, I spoke to a few people, and they said, you know, it was just a bad decision. You know, if I'd have got whitewashed, then maybe it would have been time. But you know, let's see what we can sort out from then until the Channel 5 thing come up. And they spoke about it, they had a few words with a few people. Mick Hennessy turned up, put us on Channel 5, and it's gone from strength to strength.
How did this deal happen with you being on Boxer now? Was you a little bit worried when you saw Wasserman take the Channel 5 deal? You think, like, where am I going to go now?
It's hard to say, really. I mean, because for me, as mad as this sounds, it's not about the TV, you know. I mean, and I get the whole business is about the TV and the fans. I get all that, but for me personally, I would do it. I've said it before. I'll do it in my back garden as long as I'm paid. But I get that, you know, the promoters and so on, they need the TV, they need the ticket sales to put these shows on. So it was, you know, it was like, you know, you just got to have faith in the promoter, you know. You know, Mick Hennessy's, you know, known, you know, he's been in a lot of bad positions. He's always turned it around. So, you know, between me and the team, we've just sort of give Mick the benefit of the doubt. He said he would sort it out, and you know, without fail, your man's come up trumps, and we're back on Sky, and we're topping the bill. So, yeah, I just think you got to have faith in who you're with. And I had faith in Mick. You know, the team had faith in Mick. And again, I can't thank him enough. You know, like you say, I went from losing to Cheeseman to topping the bill on Channel 5. And then in the second fight with Hennessy, you know, he got me a huge title shot at a weight that I've never been at. So I can't fault Mick. You know what I mean? I can't fault Mick. You know, he's put it all on the line for me as well. I mean, signing me at the time, I keep telling people, signing me at the time, but I was up at 7 losses, and you know, like you say, people were saying like it's probably time to, you know, have a think. And Mick put the belief in me and said, look, I believe you can do something, so let's do it. And from then on, you know, it's gone from strength to strength, like I say.
And it's not just Mick. What's it mean to you that Ben Shalom as well? Not only is he putting you on the bill, you're headlining it. That's huge. I mean, not only that, it's delivered an IBO World Title. Now, I know a lot of people will slate that belt and say it's not a proper governing body, but an IBO belt, IBO itself, you've seen the likes of people like Floyd Mayweather, Lennox Lewis have these belts. You know, it's a prestigious belt, and it is, in my eyes and a lot of boxing fans' eyes, it's a world title. How much does that mean?
Exactly that. Do you know what, as well? I was out the other night. We was at a boxing thing up at close to me, Volcanic, and I was talking to Steve Bunce, and he was talking about, you know, the IBO, the WBO, the WBA, you know, and all of them, as they come out, they do get slagged, you know, and they have to pick up a bit of steam, to, you know, to get recognised. Like the like the WBO, people weren't allowed to box for them at the start. People weren't even, and you know, they built up, you know, the trust and so on. And now people look at the WBO as, you know, part of the undisputed. So you just got to give sanctioning bodies time. And with the IBO, it's picking up a lot of steam at the moment. A lot of people in, you know, Britain are picking them up. You know, Maxie Hughes, Sam Maxwell just, you know, come up short for one. Not long ago, Eubank picked one up. Lerone Richards just picked one up. So they are picking up a lot of steam. And, you know, if anything, it's probably the best time to fight for one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, again, for me, pal, it says world title on the front, and I'm going to parade it around like as a world title. And I'm going to do everything to win it like it's, you know, undisputed. It's not, but I'm going to do everything to win it as if it is.
You're fighting against, hopefully I can say it right, Przemyslaw Zysk, an undefeated fighter, 18-0, 6 KOs. Do you know much about him? Have you seen any clips of him?
To be fair, Pat, I don't watch any of them. I never watch an opponent. Do you know what? I generally think some people get a lot from it. You know, some people can watch an opponent, see what he does bad, see what he does good, and get a lot from it. For me, it's not like that. I watch them and they look, you know, like a Mayweather or a Tyson. You know, I don't get much from it. They all look great on the internet to me. So I leave it to the coaches, you know, and through camp we'll see clips. You know, they'll show me clips as we're doing pads, you know, in between, you know, sparring rounds, and say, look, try this, try that. He does this, he does that. And they gear me up for something. And, you know, like I say, on the night, hopefully I can put it all together and get the job done.
So kind of like because you've mentioned what happened in the Cheeseman fight, you know, people were telling you, you know, have a think. You maybe was thinking yourself, should I pack it in? Gone to Channel 5 and now being back on Boxer fighting for a world title. Is it kind of like a Cinderella story for yourself?
I think the whole story's been a Cinderella story, pal. I mean, you know, you only have to, you go back to my debut. I turned over to be a journeyman. I went away from my debut against a kid who was 4-0, and beat him. So, you know, it went tits up straight away. I only turned professional to go on the road, and it just snowballed. It just snowballed. Like I say, we got into the first prize fighter as a stand-in. Someone pulled out. I got in it. You know, we lost in the first round. That was really meant to be my be all and end all. Really, do you know what I mean? And it weren't long until we come out of the prize fighter. You know, we got a Midlands title shot away again. We won that. And then we fought an English eliminator. Got the second prize fighter. You know, and it's just gone from there. I mean, Barry Hearn obviously saw me in the second prize fighter, and, you know, he enjoyed what I'd done. And then since, you know, Barry Hearn got involved, you know, everyone knows from then it was Matchroom, and everyone's seen what's happened since then. So yeah, it's been a Cinderella story from the start, pal. I had no real amateur career. I had about 30 fights, all as juniors. I trained twice a week for an hour, if that. So yeah, it's crazy how it's all turned out. It is crazy, but we're here now.
What does it mean to you to win this belt, and one day your kids will look back, your grandchildren will look back and say, he was world champion, IBO world champion?
It's a lot. It's a lot, and you know what? As mad as this might say, it didn't seem a lot. I mean, obviously I wanted to win the title. It brings money, blah, blah. And when they grow up, they could say, you know, my dad was a world champion. It didn't seem much of a big deal to me, you know, because obviously I want to sort them out now. I want to make them happy now. But as it's coming on, as the fight's getting closer, that sort of stuff, it's a lot, and it does mean a lot, and it's really starting to kick in. So, like I say, I'm just doing as much as I can in the gym, out the gym, to make sure on the night, you know, no matter what happens, you know, I'll come out with a belt.
I've got to bring something up to you, Sam. Not not trying to stir anything up, but I just want your opinion on something. You're back in the super welterweight division. A lot has changed. You went, you know, brief little period in the middleweight and came back. We've seen the likes of Kevin Ajago come down to super welterweight. JJ Metcalf just won the European title. Troy Williamson beat an old foe of yours, Cheeseman, for the British. When your fight was announced, there was a little tweet between Troy Williamson and Kevin Ajago regarding on people were commenting on who they want them to fight, for example. I commented and said, will you both have your eye on Eggington for the IBO? Troy Williamson replied and said, Sam Eggington is just target practice. What's your thoughts on these guys already writing you off, even if you win this belt and you was to face one of them?
It is what it is, pal. It's like water off a duck's back. I don't really have any sort of comments for it. I don't get involved in all that nonsense. If the fight comes along, the fight comes along. But until then, you know, smart remarks on social media is not gonna tip me over the edge to start firing back. Means nothing. Let him enjoy his time. I don't know. Means nothing at all.
What's your thoughts as well, higher up? Because you're going to be up there. You winning this belt, you're considered up there. And that is one belt that, in my opinion, you can't be undisputed unless you have the IBO. That's just my opinion. And a lot of boxing fans share that. Charlo, he's just won all the belts apart from that IBO. What's your thoughts on his performance against Castano as well? And, you know, targeting you after you win this belt?
I don't know. Like I say, I have a feeling, you know, that you know, he's classed as undisputed now. After the first Castano fight and the weigh-in and so on, I think he looked like he was on the way up. I think he had to get the second Castano fight right, and he did. But I think getting that one right, I think he will move up. I personally believe he'll move up because his brother's just gone up to super middle as well, isn't he?
I didn't even know that.
I think so. I think that's what I've heard anyway. You know, and as twins, I mean, if your one brother's up 2 weights above, I have a feeling, you know, you're growing as well. So I have a feeling he's going to move up, and I think he'll scatter the bouts about. I think there's a few mandatories for the WBO and maybe the IBF, but I think that between the WBA and the WBC, I don't think there's many mandatories there. So I think they'll be up for whoever can put the biggest bid in, I suppose. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, if Charlo sticks about, then, you know, I'm more than happy to go over there and see what happens. But I genuinely think he'll move up a weight. He just looks too big, and like I say, more than anything, it was the first Castano weighing that tipped it. I thought he looked very hard at the weight, and he got the second one right. But you know, I don't know. But again, if the phone rang, you know me, pal, I'm going to answer. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, we've just got to get this one out of the way.
Brilliant. Sam, before I let you go, do you have a message for those fans that could be traveling to Coventry? And if they can't, they're going to be tuning in on Sky Sports Boxing to see you fight for the IBO World Title.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that's you know, brought tickets, well wishes, all the messages, all the comments are all read. And I appreciate everyone. So fingers crossed we can get this done and have a party afterwards.
Brilliant. Sam, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. And do you know what? You deserve it. You deserve this shot, and hope you bring that belt home, mate.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Take care. Good luck, mate.
Cheers, pal. Nice one.